Welcome to Curie Electronics. So today we are going to learn about op-amp integrator. So integrator means this circuit, integrator circuit does the function of mathematical function integration. So these are the waveforms I have captured from a practically working circuit. We will come back to the waveforms later. First, let us study about the op-amp. So, the circuit I am drawing is the inverting amplifier, op-amp, using it as a inverting amplifier. See here, this is the feedback resistor RF and this is the Rin, and if we will give the input signal, we will get a amplified inverted signal. So this is the inverting amplifier. Inverting amplifier. If you want to make an integrator, what we do, the same circuit, let me draw it once more so that we will get used to the circuit. So if you know how to draw a inverting amplifier circuit, then a integrator circuit is very simple for you. If you replace the feedback resistor with a capacitor, the circuit becomes a integrator circuit. That means this circuit does the integration. This is the Rin resistor, V out. This V out is given as minus 1 upon RC integral of V in t dt. So integral of the input. This is the integrator output. Before studying many things about this circuit, what are the uses of this? Why do we have to study about it? See, this integrator circuit is used in analog to digital converters, ADC. Secondly, it is used for ramp generation. Then the third one is the usual wave shaping circuits. So these are the basic applications of this integrator. Actually, originally it was used in analog computers. So now let us study. Now let us try to derive this equation. Which equation? In the output equation of a op-amp integrator. This equation, let us try to derive it. So we have the integrator. So in place of a feedback resistor, we will replace it with a capacitor. C R in, V in. This is the inverting terminal. Then what is there? V out. Equation for V out we have to find. So already we know the equation. Let us try to derive it. Now, if you see this node I will mark it as A. And the current flowing through this resistor is I will take it as I. Here, from the virtual ground concept, we can say the inverting terminal is at 0 volt. Also, the op amp is ideal. That means into the op amp, no current flows. There's no current flow. This is from node A to the negative inverting terminal. It's like an open circuit. So whatever the current I, it should flow through this capacitor. This current flowing through the capacitor, I'll take it as IC. Now, what you have to do? We have to apply the KVL. Let me write it here. Apply KVL at node A. Node A, we are going to apply the KVL at node A. So I is the incoming current. Incoming current equal to outgoing current. That outgoing current is IC. Now, already we know capacitor charge. How do you relate the charge of a capacitor with its voltage and capacitance? That is Q equal to CV. We can differentiate both sides. That is dQ upon dt equals C. C is a constant. Capacitor value we can't change it once you purchase it or after manufacturing. So dV upon dt. See, dQ by dt equal to I. In case of capacitor, we'll write it as IC. C dV by dt. Now we'll put the values. Now if we see what is I here, I we can write, see this I is current is flowing from V into node A. So I we are going to apply the Ohm's law. That is V in minus 0 upon R in equals IC we know CV. Instead of dV by dt is there. So d of 0 minus V0 upon dt. Now if we simplify this, let's simplify it. V in upon R in equals 0. See, this cancels. Then next term, what is the term left? Term will be left minus C V0 dV0 upon dt. So if we simplify this, we will get V0 equals minus 1 upon RC integral of V in T dt. So this is how we derive the equation. So let me mark the equation. So our V out is always integral of V in, that is the input signal. Now what we have seen this is the ideal op amp. We'll draw it once more. Nothing wrong. We'll get more familiar with the circuit. So this is V in, R in. Now we'll put a feedback capacitor. This is a V out. See, this is the ideal op amp, ideal integrator circuit. It's not a practical integrator circuit. What is the issue with it? Ideal integrator. If you make this integrator practically, it won't work satisfactorily. So what are the issues? At F equal to, now when the V in equal to DC, what happens? At F equal to 0 Hertz, that means it's DC. The gain of what will be the gain? The gain is going to be equal to open loop gain. Gain is going to be open loop gain. That means it will go into saturation, open loop gain. There will be, what is there? Because some offset voltage will be there in the input. So this ideal integrator, when input is at low frequency, it goes to saturation. Go to saturation. Due to offset voltage, due to input offset voltage. So we need, if you want to make a practical integrator, there has to be some modification for it. So let's learn about the practical integrator. Practical integrator. I'll put the values also. This is a circuit I have made and tested. Practical integrator. The practical integrator, we will take a op amp. Then what I have done, I have made minus 12 volt I applied, and to the positive terminal I have applied plus 12 volt. Then I connected one 10K resistor as R in. The feedback capacitor, I used a 0.01 microfarad, 0.01 microfarad capacitor, which is equal to 10 nanofarad. 10 nanofarad capacitor I have used. Then the practical circuit, what is there? We will put a resistor here in parallel with the feedback capacitor. This is equal to RF. This I have used 100K. So what happens? Integrator. Okay, let me finish the circuit. And to take care of the input bias current, I have put a 10K resistor here. 10K resistor here. V in is applied. So this is the practical integrator circuit. There is a cutoff frequency. For a practical integrator circuit, we have a cutoff frequency. Let me write the equation for a cutoff frequency. That is FL equals 1 upon 2 pi CF RF. This is CF and this is the RF. Below this frequency, the op-amp integrator doesn't do the integration function. Below FL, let me write it. Below FL, this will act as this integrator circuit acts as a inverting amplifier. I will show you the waveforms which I have captured. So now we'll put some values and see for this circuit what is the FL. Now basically how see the capacitor charging and discharging only we are making use to make this integrator circuit. See, we know the capacitor charging property, correct? We will get a exponential curve like this. Now to use this as an integrator, we should use only the linear region. Up to here only we have to make use. Only up to here, only the linear region. After that we are not getting. So this is a VC and this is a time T. So up to 5 time period, the capacitor get fully charged. So we should not allow the capacitor to charge like that. So there is a thumb rule. What is a thumb rule? The input T, that T is the period of the input signal. That should be much smaller than the time period of the RC. The thumb rule. Now we can calculate with cutoff frequency also. How does it? Now for the given circuit FL, if you calculate, that is 1 upon 2 pi CFRF, it comes to, if you put the values from the previous circuit, I am not writing it, let me write it, 2 pi multiplied by, what is the capacitor which we are with? 0.01, 10 to the power minus 6 multiplied by 100k, 100 multiplied by 10 to the power 3. If you simplify this, we will get a 159 Hertz. That means below 159 Hertz, this our integrator, this circuit acts as simple inverting amplifier. Above 159 Hertz only, this will work as an integrator. But to work as integrator properly, it should be at least you have to go to 1 kilohertz frequency. I have checked with the 1 kilohertz frequency. Now we'll see the waveforms. Now first let us consider our input. This is the time, amplitude, I'll put voltage. Now applied a 5 volt input. It is a positive 5 volt. Now what we should get as the output is VT. We have applied positive 5 volt. So what will happen? We will get a negative going ramp because negative is there in the output equation of the integrator, and after it becomes constant. Why it is becoming constant? Because it can't go beyond the ramp can't go beyond the saturation voltage. So here it is getting saturated. The negative VSAT, negative saturation. Similarly, if we apply the second case, what we will do? We will apply a negative supply to it. So that means this is T V. I'll apply negative 5 volt to the integrator. So then what do I get? T V. Then I'll get a positive going ramp when I apply the negative DC voltage, and it goes into positive VSAT. This is negative VSAT. So we are getting positive ramp and negative ramp. Now what happens if you apply a step signal? The third case, what we do, see, if I apply a signal like this, this is as usual, this is a T and V. What we get as the output. The output is going to be, when the signal is positive, we will get a negative ramp. Then it is 0, so it is going to be constant. This is what we are going to get. So when you give a unit step signal, we are going to get a ramp, and this is depending upon the RC value. Now what we do? Now I hope you got the basic idea about the integrator. Now what we'll do? We'll see the previously captured waveforms. So it will help us for a better understanding. Okay. If you see here in this waveform is a proper integrating waveform. See, when the square wave is at the positive side, we are getting a negative going ramp. When square wave is at negative side, we are getting a positive going ramp. This is, I have taken at 1 kilohertz. We have got a proper integration, a triangular wave. So a triangular wave a square wave, integrator has converted into a triangular wave. The next, I have reduced this, I have taken around, I have reduced the frequency below 159 Hertz. Below 159 Hertz. I think it is around 40 Hertz I have taken. Then what is happening? This is working just like a inverting amplifier. Now see, I applied a small valued signal. I am getting a inverted amplified signal. So it is 10 times getting amplified because we had a feedback resistor 100 and input resistor as 10. So this is working as a inverting amplifier below the FL frequency. This is also in a lesser amplitude. See, both are in 5 volt scale. Now see here what I have done, I am applying only the positive going square pulse. It is 0. See, this is 0 reference. From there it is going above less than 2 volt. Then we are getting the triangular wave. We are getting a triangular wave in the negative value. See here, here is the reference value, reference level C2, second channel oscilloscope. But we are getting a negative voltage triangular wave. See here what I have done. I have applied a 0 is the reference level here, and it is going negative. The negative 0 to negative is going 0 to almost 2 volt. So when it is going, I am getting a positive ramp. I am getting positive side triangular wave. I am getting positive side triangular wave. I am getting. See here. See this one. What is the thing? I forgot to put one more waveform actually. We can create a ramp from this by increasing the by adjusting this duty cycle. We can create a ramp. We will get a ramp adjusting the duty cycle, and we will apply either positive square wave or negative square wave. That means 0 to 5 volt or 0 to minus 5 volt. If you apply, then you will get a ramp. With adjusting the duty cycle, we will get a ramp. That's what I missed that waveform. So I hope you now this was for sine wave. When I apply sine wave, I will get a inverted cosine wave. That is the integration. We know what is the integration of sine x dx, which is equal to minus cos x plus c. That's what we are getting. So I hope you understood what is the integrator. If you like the video, please share with your friends. Don't forget to hit the like button.